What is it that makes your heart race? What is it that sends chills down your spine? What monster lurks in the grainy black and white shadows, poised to attack? This season, on Keystone Copycats, we explore the darkness at the heart of cinema with Fritz Lang's M. Hello and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I'm Coach Miano, Zach, and I'm Coach your other host.
You know me. You know me. It's the Muffin Man. Do you know me?
No, we've never been formally introduced.
And he's back together with the Cupcake Cat. And the discount dog.
We're the Muffin Man and the Muffin Top Man.
What? Am I the Muffin Top Man?
If anyone saw the two of us, no one would ever question who the Muffin Top Man was.
But I worry. I worry that I might be the Muffin Top Man.
Well, you know.
I'm just. I can't remember what I said. The discount duck. Discount dog.
The discount double check.
I'm the. What's next? The A B C D E. The erotic elephant.
The egregious erection.
It's got to be an animal. The Fahrenheit frog.
If you do it right, an erection is an animal.
Oh my God. I don't like that at all.
I get weird when we record multiple episodes.
So, the answer to my question this morning, I knew I would go get coffee multiple times. On one of my stops is at the McDonald's that's closest to my house, which is like 45 minutes away. So I stopped there and
the one where the woman didn't get my tiny joke and made me feel really awkward when we were driving here.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. The one I told you not to fuck around with and mess up. Yeah, that's her, and she's gone. And that answered my question. I fucking drove up, and one time she just had a broken arm. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, she's a little bit older. I mean, what are you gonna do? Broken
she's
arm.
Dead.
Yeah. So the next,
is she dead?
The next
Did you murder her?
The next time I came up, she had her broken arm, and she had a big cut across her throat. I'm like, oh my
What the fuck?
God, what the fuck's going on? Like you didn't fall down the steps and cut your throat open.
She's that fat kid from Summer of '84.
You know where she is now? Gone. She's not back.
She's that fat kid from Summer of '84. She's out on the tidal island dead with her throat slit by the fucking dude from Mad Men.
I mean, it wasn't like, oh, you nicked yourself shaving? Like, what the fuck, shaving your neck? It wasn't that. It was definitely oh my God.
Someone gave her a Chelsea grin.
She had the fucking, what do they call them? Like the butterfly Band-Aids, all across her neck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Someone fucked her up.
So once again, if it was a doctor, they might have been like, well, let's stitch up your neck there because clearly that's a bad wound. And she was like, nah, I'll just put these little Band-Aids all over where my husband's clearly trying to beat the fuck out of me.
Jesus.
Someone wants her dead. And what does she have? Money? She's working at McDonald's.
She's an assistant manager there.
Oh, I got
she's got power. That's what she has.
Plus benefits.
Yeah, I said assistant. $45K.
I don't know how much.
It's $35.
I don't know how much fucking people make.
She lives in
idea.
She lives in that house with the fucking water heater sitting in the open door.
Oh, you mean that trailer?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. There's a really poor part of town. It's actually there. There's a really poor part of town that I'm just like, I don't know how people are here. I don't know why people are here, how this happened, but whatever.
Generational poverty, my friend.
Then there's a trailer there, and there's a door open, and it's just the utility room, and there's the water heater. I don't know how no one has scrapped that water heater. I really don't understand.
I'll tell you how. There's a small note, taped to it that you didn't see because you have bad eyes, and I saw it because I'm an eagle. But it said, "Please don't steal me." And people listen. It said, "Please." It was really polite.
It says, "Please steal me," and they did the opposite. They're like, "Yeah, I won't do that. I don't follow the rules.
You can't tell me what to do. I do what I want. I'm gonna leave you right there."
I'll treat you like that one woman said, "Don't cut my throat." I cut her throat.
I'll slice her from ear to ear.
It just didn't make
Jesus.
That poor fucking woman.
Fucking grim wife.
I hope she's okay. I really don't wish ill of her. But then I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen next. Because I was literally going to be like looking for any mark so I could make the joke. And then when she never came back, I was like, oh no, this is so
She
much
gets up
worse.
every morning and drives her jazzy scooter to work just like you or me.
She ain't driving. Get the fuck out
It's
of
a
here.
jazzy
Is that
scooter.
assistant?
It's a hover round.
Oh, got it. Anyway, that was it. That's all I had.
That's your whole life.
I don't have a lot of notes today.
I don't have very many fast food stories today. Sorry.
No, I did have an idea.
I just saw a woman who'd been attempted murdered, and now she's gone.
I was thinking about abduction, though. It's funny you bring it up. Maybe it's because of the season we're doing. Maybe it's because of the season that we're doing.
No.
For some reason I was thinking about abduction.
For some reason, I was thinking about skinning and wearing a woman. Now, I don't know why.
Well, I was thinking about, like, how long it'll be till we have full-on mirror costumes. You know, like from that GoldenEye movie, the 007 movie where like he's got the invisible car because it's all about mirrors and shit.
Yeah, Die Another Day.
I want a suit. And I was thinking about just a suit that you'd sneak up on people or whatever. And then I was realizing, you know, all you really need is just to wear a hat that's got a mirror on it. Because most people are just going to be looking at themselves in the hat. And in the time that they're adjusting their face or doing whatever they do, you can just steal them. They wouldn't even notice. It would take them a long time.
You could just steal them.
Yeah, just pick them up.
Just tuck them into your pocket and walk away.
And then I was thinking, like, then I started thinking about all the things you could make invisible with mirrors. And I was thinking about, like, you know what one of the worst ones would be? Your cat in your house. Because you would just assume your house was haunted. If you just put mirrors all over your cat so you couldn't see it anymore, and just randomly things would just fly off your desk.
Yeah, I don't think that'd work because you'd like see your reflection and you'd be like, oh, that's the cat.
No.
There's not another me in the house. There's not a small partial version of me prancing around on my desk.
That's why you think it's haunted. You're like, oh no, another me.
I'm coming for me.
Oh, I'm dead. And then something knocks off the desk. You're like, what? Another thing?
No, me. Don't knock down that external drive that's made exclusively for PC.
I'll return it.
It's not real.
I'll return it when I'm ready. You don't know me. Can't even see me. That's the time to put on my mirror hat.
Have you seen those? Like package tables?
I wasn't done.
I don't
You don't
care.
see the reflection of you.
Of course you do.
You do. It's like two mirrors. Oh no, then you see the backs of the mirror. I don't know how it works. And I think that's why
No,
we
you
don't have.
don't. So
I think that's why we don't have it.
have
yet.
you seen those tables for like packages? It's like an end table size thing on a porch.
Like underwear?
No. It's like a square table, all right? And like the top of it opens up and inside is a mirror at an angle, so they tuck a package into it.
You could
so
fit
it
like
can't be
five things.
No, you can fit like
order.
one thing in there.
But
But
I'm saying don't
it's
think 5
interesting.
items in life because most things are bigger than that when they're packed.
Right.
Maybe you could do your whole house.
And they just open the roof up on hinges.
You shoot it, and then the UPS guy shoots it in like hoops. Like, there it is.
Like the Michael Jordan of delivering packages.
Because they already deliver packages like that. I got scared. I got scared midway through my comment.
Yeah, I would too. I've been thinking a lot about abducting lately.
You know what I've been thinking about lately?
Here's the problem with you thinking about abduction is you'd have a big white unmarked van that like
It's got a magnet. It's got a mirror.
Cool.
People think they're driving next to themselves.
They're like, oh, it's me again.
The road's haunted too.
Spooky. It's spooky season. Speaking of which, this is our Halloween episode. Even though technically Halloween's on Monday and this comes out the Wednesday before.
Ooh.
It's a bit of a spooktacular.
Speaking of costumes, did I ever tell you about the time I saw Robin Hood's dick?
Kevin Costner or Russell Crowe?
No. So my mom and sister were merry maidens at the Renaissance Festival.
Cool.
And I was going to look for my mom, and it was like backstage or behind, not backstage, just behind the fucking fake castle or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, backstage.
So I walked into a tent, which
Mr. Fancy Showbiz family.
I thought she was in there for some reason. and there was just a man that was butt naked wearing boots, and he turned around, and I guess it was Robin Hood or the equivalent of fucking Robin Hood, and his dick was out. He goes, "Oh, my bad, man." And I'm like, well, hang on, like, what were you, what the fuck was going on? Because then immediately I walk out embarrassed.
Are you telling me that you don't strip nude to shit?
My mom was right there. And my first instinct as a little kid, you don't put it all together real fast, but you're like, my mom was back there with naked Robin Hood. What's happening? Like, I don't know what's going on. It wasn't like they were hooking up or whatever, but I'm like, why are they hanging out? If his dick's out, why is she hanging out with my mom? So then he walked out all embarrassed, like, and he apologized to her. He wouldn't even talk to me.
I beg your pardon, my lovely maiden. I did not mean to submit your son to my hog.
He walks out in his Robin Hood costume and then just waltz it out. But I'm like, who starts with boots?
What if he?
Why would he get naked and then go? You know what comes first? Boots.
Was his dick shaped like an arrow?
This is a regular dick. Just bush dick.
Was it shaped like a bow?
Most basic looking penis.
Was it shaped like a quiver? Was it shaped like a Robin Hood hat? Is that how you knew he was Robin Hood? Because his dick was shaped like a Robin Hood hat?
Oh, he's trying to steal my memories.
What a weird, thick-based cock.
He was trying to steal my memories and give to the, I don't know, less poor.
Senile? People with Alzheimer's?
I was pretty poor. He was giving it to the rich. He goes, guess what? Traumatize his kid.
Yeah, that's capitalist Robin Hood.
Oh. It just never made any sense why he was butt naked in boots. Like, he was fucking my mom, I guess. She did show up surprisingly quick when he was naked.
Oh, Lady Janet.
Ugh. Oh, man. It really, yeah, none of that memory makes sense because it was just the two of them back there. Like, maybe he was. Maybe that's what I just realized is that Robin was fucking my mom.
I think we should call your sister and ask her if she remembers when you saw Robin Hood's hog at the Renaissance
Festival.
was
just the three of us. I remember.
I know. I want to know if she remembers it.
No, we still
Let's call her up.
Well, what do you think? My mom like immediately ran to my little sister like, guess what? Like, I was fucking Robin Hood and your brother caught me.
Oh,
I know
Chris caught me fucking Robin Hood.
I know you're only 8.
I'm playing Maid Marian. What do you want?
Oh, they were getting ready for the role.
Yeah, they're method actors.
Oh my god, I hate every part of this.
Yeah. Speaking of the Renaissance Festival,
I feel so bad now.
I think I'm gonna go this weekend. You want to go?
No.
Okay.
No. Didn't you hear the story?
I'll dress like Robin Hood for you.
Now my mom's passed away. It'll be way scarier.
Why? Because you might see her ghost fucking Robin Hood?
Oh, man.
That is spooky. And horny.
Jesus Christ.
So I just want to say, like, I don't think you really appreciated my joke. You saw, like, someone's, like, tailgate with, like, a sexy Harry and the Hendersons with, like, a raccoon sitting in front of the crotch.
No, I got it.
I don't, yeah, but I don't think you appreciated when I responded horny in the Hendersons.
No, I liked it.
You didn't.
I did. I was driving a car.
Wow.
That's why I just had to fire a remark back. I thought you.
Oh wait, did you fire it?
I thought you. I thought you wanted to play. That's why I was like, I'll
horny in the Hendersons. It's good. Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know where. I might have been in Kentucky. I was probably in Kentucky.
You live in Kentucky. That's your life now.
Yeah, there was just,
you got bluegrass in your heart.
None of that made any sense. It was something about Lion Joe Biden something.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, something bumper stickers or whatever. Or at least that was some point in the day. And then on the back of the truck, it's a full-size Bigfoot, like from the jerky commercials, laying there looking like.
No, that's Harry in the Hendersons.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know the difference then, I guess. And there's a raccoon in front of his dick, and I don't understand why that happened at all.
Okay, here's the thing. It's a truck with like a truck cap
on.
No, I'm looking at it now.
It's eating Fords and shitting Chevys.
Yep, that's what it is.
That's what it was.
That's what it is.
Lion Joe Biden was somewhere else.
I didn't even see that part because I only saw horny Harry at the Hendersons.
We ought to take out the license plate though, because I got the license plate.
I'll post that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but my fiance was like, "How does this happen to you?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry. Like, you just made it for me."
Yeah, it was just for you.
Yeah, I'm just special like that.
Yeah. You deserved it. You earned it. Proud of you.
So, did your mom fuck anyone important?
The Sheriff of Nottingham, weirdly enough.
Oh no, they all got in on it.
Yeah.
Are you just looking at pictures still?
Yes, of course I am.
Well, you might as well post it at this point.
I'm gonna.
How did everyone's Halloween go?
It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, wait, it didn't?
No.
Where are we in the timeline?
This is the Wednesday before Halloween. Halloween's on next Monday.
I thought when you said it was on Monday, I was thinking it was...
No, it's the following Monday.
Oh, so this doesn't really feel... It's not that close to Halloween. How's your Halloween going to go?
I think it's going to be good.
Let's just cut out that part.
Cut
out the part that I just did, and then we'll just pick up, and then that's
the part about your mom fucking Robin Hood? I won't.
No.
This is hard-hitting journalism, and I will not shy away from the truth, sir.
Take that out of my memory by hitting me with a fucking hammer. I didn't realize when I was telling that story, somehow I didn't realize at all that it might turn into, hey, maybe she was fucking that guy.
Maybe your mom fucked Robin Hood.
I was just thinking about Robin Hood's dick. It was clearly just in my mother.
Yeah.
And we'll never know. Isn't that crazy? We will never get the answer.
Crazy that you saw Robin Hood's rock hard, glistening shaft.
She wasn't doing it for him, apparently. But I gotta figure out what year,
Kramer in that Seinfeld porn.
I gotta figure out what year it was, and then go to the king, I guess. Go to the king and be like,
your future father-in-law.
I need the tax records. Who played Robin Hood? 25 years ago, whatever. And then I'll get the answers. And I'll call him up.
Who your real father is.
I'll be like, hey, this is Chris, saw your dick.
Hey, remember that kid who saw your dick at the Renaissance Festival 25 years ago? You don't. Okay, well, I remember.
It wasn't burned in your memories. Oh.
Like a dick-shaped stamp branded into my brain.
That's sad that he doesn't remember me. I don't like that, and in the least.
He's like, I remember the thrill of a young boy seeing my penis, but I don't remember you specifically.
What if he's on a podcast going, you know what? One time when I was Robin Hood, for some reason I went, wait, why'd I do boots first? And bent over, and I turn around and see some kid through my legs.
You know what? He was testing out. He was thinking about being Puss in Boots instead of Robin Hood. He was just going to wear boots and a big hat. That was it. And then you came in, you freaked out, and he was like, fuck, I knew it was a bad idea. I knew it wasn't horny weekend at the Renaissance Festival. What if they had like an adult weekend at the Renaissance Festival that was really horny like that? A nudist weekend at the Renaissance Festival. We could make a lot of money on this.
Oh, no. I knew I should have done
it didn't work. My wife told me if I'm going to be Puss in Boots, I got to wear a cat suit.
He's like, this isn't Puss in Boots. This is Dick in Boots. God damn it.
Maybe he was trying to get some puss in boots. How about that? Does that work for you?
So he's still Puss in Boots at that point. Got it. Well, this has been the adventures of when I was a kid and didn't put things together.
This is
how you do.
This is kids peeping peens. That's what we're talking.
Wait, so am I the pervert in that situation because I snuck in on him?
Always have been.
He was in the changing room. It really was my fault. He didn't do anything wrong besides fuck my mom.
I think the biggest problem is that, like, as you were going in, you said, "Here I come. You better not be naked."
I didn't know that kids could be pedophiles.
You better not be trying out a horny Puss in Boots. Here I come.
Well, this week we did Silence of the Lambs. She's scared mine would be called Silence of Robin Hood's Dick.
You walked into the changing room and you saw his dick because it was tucked between his legs, and he was saying, "Did you fuck me?"
I want to be done with. I want to be done with this memory.
I love that this happened to you. There's so many weird things. I love that, like, your memory is so stupid and bad that, like, every once in a while something so glorious and weird surfaces, and you're like, huh. It's like Robin Hood's dick or Mr. Miano or like something.
Yeah. First off, there is no Mr. Miano. That's the character.
He's dead?
That's the character we made up. There's a Mrs. Miano.
Mr. Miano hasn't lived here for years.
I never met Mr. Miano.
Mr. Miano died in 1975. Spooky.
Then shit flies off his desk.
Mr. Miano used to dress up as Puss in Boots and go to the Renaissance Festival.
That's the Shyamalan twist.
Oh, it was Mr. Miano.
The whole time.
He was playing an organ on that pirate ship.
Robin Miano.
His name's Piano. We know that.
Stupid. All right. You ready?
So, do you want to talk about The Silence of the Lambs from 1991?
I need to talk about
directed
something
by
else.
Jonathan Demme, starring Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn, and Ted Levine.
Man, should we just go into it? I was wrong. Jodie Foster in this movie
is incredible.
Does it
fucking phenomenal.
She's fucking gorgeous.
Woo, those eyes, man.
Yeah.
And there's so many like they tell this story so much in close-ups and in this like weirdly low lit kind of like
and high angle. So you're looking down, so she's got to look up at you. You know, kind of like insinuating, like, "Hey, you know,
I'm 13."
If Jodie Foster wasn't, you know, gay, then maybe she'd be into me.
No, I think like it's really cool the way they do all these close-ups, but also like the low light of it because her pupils are fucking enormous.
Piercing,
and like, dude, it's wild. This is such an incredible movie. This is, I think this is easily the best movie we have ever or will ever talk about on this show.
I was going to say this to the end, but I'll probably just forget, so I might as well get it over with. Let's say that you can just take the cast of Red Dragon and release these movies at the exact same time.
Oh,
so
damn.
the same cast, but it's filmed. It has the grainy, gritty texture of this movie. Which one's the better? This is better. I agree.
This is better for sure. And the thing about it is like it's the director too, because this is Jonathan Demme, and I think that's Rennie Harlan or. Let me look real quick. Who did Red Dragon?
Really, I'm thinking. I meant to say is Anthony Hopkins is the same age now when he does Red Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one?
because Red Dragon is like a prequel, so he should be a little younger.
Older. I'm just saying, like, I feel like adding that texture to that movie might.
Oh, it's Brett Ratner. I mixed those two up. Brett Ratner directed. So if you get Jonathan Demme directing I think it is a significantly better movie.
I think the Buffalo Bill is a very intriguing character, and he works perfectly in this.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's built around him. But I think the in Red Dragon, I think maybe it's because you see more depth and you feel more for the instigator that he's more intriguing. I think it's because you see him you see his backstory more, that he's the victim and that's why he's doing the killing. So you get more. It's more relatability.
Talking about Red Dragon, Ray Fiennes. Yeah, I think you definitely get more. You definitely get more of his like personal life. You understand him more. You get more from his perspective. And I think what makes Silence of the Lambs the superior movie is the Clarice Starling, Hannibal Lecter relationship. Yeah, that is what's so like
distant in Red Dragon.
Well, no, but it's so like it's so charged. They have such like chemistry, even though that's usually like a sexual term, but like it's not that. It's just they have this like magnetism.
I think Red Dragon works so much better as a prequel because if you started off seeing that that Hannibal is almost kind of petty and then isn't really a not demeaning factor, but he gets one-upped a couple times by Edward Norton. You're kind of like, oh, he's not.
It shows some of his flaws, some of his weaknesses, and like
exactly, it has to come later.
Yeah, because he's learned from that experience now, and like
so he's better at it. Yeah.
And in Silence of the Lambs, he's such a mystery. He's such this like cipher of a character that like you don't understand.
Yeah, like how did like at the just a quick recap at the end, like how did he know the butterfly dealer's name and what he looked like that he could give them the false lead so the FBI would go. All of a sudden you're like, wait a second, how do you know all this fucking information? And part of it comes down to happenstance. It seems like, oh, this guy was like, you know, dated one of my patients and I have this information. It's not like, it almost undermines the whole thing of him being like this like criminal profiler who could like, you know, tell you based on the killings and the stuff like who it would be. It is kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter that he's a genius. He knew the guy. Like that kind of like makes him a little less imposing, but it's still really, really fucking cool. Yeah, it's done well because the whole time you're thinking he's just pulling this out of thin air. Where, you know, in Red Dragon, I mean, once again, to not discredit the Hannibal character, like he does figure it out in Red Dragon. Like in Red Dragon, he goes like, yeah, I didn't know him, but I figured out who he was because I reach out because I'm very famous for being this person, so or being this serial killer. So I'm sure another serial killer would love me, and he does. So. Well, and part of that is like Red Dragon has to be like
okay, in Silence of the Lambs, Lecter is in jail. He had to have gotten caught. So, like, he's not infallible, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, you take from that he learned a lesson and is not going to let himself get caught again and is thinking, like, 5 moves ahead and all that. So,
maybe
there is that implied growth, I guess.
Maybe I should do a synopsis now that we've...
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a synopsis.
An FBI trainee tries to catch the notorious killer, Buffalo Bill, using clues and tips given by her mentor, Hannibal Lecter. I said mentor.
That's a good...
I wrote that one.
I mean, I think her mentor is Jack Crawford.
Her mentor.
But
Jack Crawford's Hannibal.
How many Best Picture nominees do you think we've covered on this show?
Point Break. 2.
So both Point Breaks?
Pulp Fiction, Point Break 2, 4.
You named one that was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh, is that it?
Until this.
Armageddon.
Actually, what's funny is a different asteroid hitting the Earth movie.
Did we do 7 Years a Slave?
Well, it's 12 Years a Slave, and no.
So we need to like have it.
No, I've never seen that movie. I
God,
like
you haven't?
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth it. It's hard to watch. It's very difficult to watch, but well worth it.
So we've done in order. These are the Best Picture nominees we've done in order. And the first one we did was from the same year as Silence of the Lambs. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
First animated feature to be nominated for Best Picture. Babe. Get Out. Don't Look Up. Black Panther. A Few Good Men.
Black Panther
and Pulp Fiction. Yes, Black Panther was nominated for.
I'm sorry, what was the
Picture.
second last? Oh, Pulp Fiction. Okay.
A Few Good Men. Pulp Fiction. And this is our first winner.
I would have guessed fucking 3.
Yeah, but that's 7.
Huh.
That's wild.
Well, we pick them.
I know.
It's not that wild.
It's insane.
It's not that crazy that you would pick things that the Academy loves.
Oh, it's not insane that I would pick good movies to watch for this show.
No, I like simple movies.
I like simple movies, like The Hot Chick and the Point Break remake.
I like fucking Married to Children. Okay, sorry.
I like fucking a television
fucking
show.
Hooters jokes. Man, I've been watching Golden Girls lately though. That's a good goddamn show.
Golden Girls is good. It's wild that B. Arthur is actually the oldest one on that show.
I know. That's what I constantly say is, the mom's actually the youngest one.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
On the weekends now, I just sit with my new dad and just drink coffee and watch Golden Girls.
Golden Girls is good.
He pretends that he's not watching it. And that's what kills me about it. I'm like, man, I'll always be like, this is a fucking good show. As he's laughing, like trying to get him to be like, yeah, it's a good show. He won't admit that he watches the show.
He's like, no,
He'll
this
be
lady's
staring
on
at it, talking to me, won't take his eyes off it, and every time I'm like, yeah, this is great, isn't it, Joe? And he's like, so what'd you do yesterday?
You're like, that Rue McClanahan sure is horny, isn't she?
So who'd you do? Let's get it out the way.
Blanche. Obviously Blanche.
She's the most sexual.
Well, she's just so enthusiastic about it. Like Dorothy feels like she would Dorothy feels like she would be mocking you as you were having sex with her.
Yeah.
Sophia's too old.
Yeah,
and then Rose feels like she's too innocent. She feels like she'd be like, what's going on? Like she's too
No, Rose.
It's Blanche. Blanche is the one.
Rose would probably make you food after.
I'll tell you this though.
Blanche would order out for you.
Young Betty White is beautiful.
Yes.
It's wild. You see?
Why did everyone have to have curly hair when they were young?
I don't know.
I don't like
that. It's just the style.
I like straight hair, like Jodie Foster. I'm telling you, I think that if Jodie Foster was not gay, I think that the feelings that I have for her, there's no way she wouldn't love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know how you could prove that? You know how you could prove that is by shooting Ronald Reagan.
What does that mean?
The guy who shot Ronald Reagan did it to impress Jodie Foster.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Is that what this feeling is?
Like you want to shoot Ronald Reagan? No, that's just living in America.
I thought it was love. How would that have helped her?
I don't know, to impress. It was like, so he had seen her in Taxi Driver as a child, much like you saw her in Freaky Friday as a child.
Oh, she was a teen.
13.
18.
13. I can see how you'd think it was an 8, like someone filled in the other side of that 3, but no, it's 13.
Well,
so he saw her.
Here's the thing. I know what she grows up to be, so it's not bad.
No, You actually said the opposite in the episode. That was not the case. I just think
that if you had, if I had a cheat list of, like you're allowed to like 5 celebrities that you can fall in love with, then I just need the one. Like if I could have one celebrity,
but there's an asterisk. It's 13-year-old Jodie Foster.
No, see, that's the thing is I like her in this movie now.
Okay.
So I think that if I was going to run out on my fiance with one celebrity, I don't need the other 4. Okay. It would just be Jodie Foster, and I think we'd be in love forever.
Okay. I
think she would be. She's the kind of girl that like I don't care if anything happens. Like you could just watch a movie and cuddle up on the couch, and then you have sex later, and then it'd be great.
Like your mom with Robin Hood.
I don't think there was any foreplay. I think it was just straight to.
He wanted to get in her boots. Yeah.
What, did you say straight puss?
I said he wanted to get in her boots.
Quit talking about my brother.
So John Hinckley was obsessed with Jodie Foster. He saw her in Taxi Driver and was obsessed with her. Yeah. And he was also obsessed with... I get it. And he was also obsessed with Catcher in the Rye. And it was those two things combined.
He was trying to catch her in the rye.
Yeah, by shooting Ronald Reagan.
What? I just don't get that. I don't get how the two...
To impress her. I don't know.
Did she hate him?
I mean, she should. I don't know if she did.
What's wrong with Reagan?
Oh. Stop it.
That's actually the most vulgar thing I've said on the show. Oh, okay.
So do my Reagan. It's just saying yeah. So you're John Hinckley.
Is that what it said when he got shot?
Well, Nancy, I've been shot. Well,
so is this an iconic opening? Is this an iconic opening for Silence of the Lambs, or is it just that it's not many people have done this? Like this, it makes me think
the training montage.
Yeah,
I think it's an incredible way to introduce Clarice. It's fantastic, and I think Point Break rips it off.
I was gonna say the only thing I can think of that is comparable is Point Break, which I'm like that's just kind of the same thing.
I think Point Break sees this movie. I think Catherine Bigelow sees this movie and is like, holy shit, that like FBI training montage opening is incredible. I want to do something like that,
Well, do you think that's a bummer because like how they do in, I don't know anything about music and you know that.
They play notes sometimes.
No, like there's like, I don't know what it's called, like a rhythm or whatever. And then they know that people...
rhythmic?
That's a word. I looked it up.
No,
I swear to God.
No,
it's a rhythmic. It's a rhythmic, right? Is it rhythmic or is it a rhythmic?
Okay. Arrhythmic is a word that means something that does not have rhythm.
A rhythmic. Maybe that's it.
Rhythmic is not a word, my friend.
Maybe, hang on, what was it?
Arrhythmic.
With an A.
Yes. Arrhythmic.
You sure? A rhythmic. Hey, what was I saying? You know how like when a song catches fire, I don't know. I don't even talk like that. I don't know why I said it like that. You know when a song is fire,
it's so hot
that people just replicate the melody or the rhythm or whatever the fuck it's called, the rhythmic. And then they base new songs off it, like just like
samples. You're talking about samples,
like Queen. What's the Queen
Latifah.
Song? No, Queen to Vanilla Ice. It's the same rhythm or whatever, and then
no, he stole the thing from.
But people do the rhythm of songs because they know if they're hits, they'll work again as a new song. So that's a thing that
there's a lot of yeah.
It's called a rhythmic.
No, that's not. No, it's not what that's called.
Well, let's call it something now. When you steal someone else's work, it's called a rhythmic.
No, it's called plagiarism
with a K.
Rhythmic.
But you don't want like something so
like you're eating someone's ass. So whose name is Nick.
When it's something so dope, you're like, that's hot. Like this on fire. Like
when something's so dope that you say, that's hot. What happened to you? All right, we're getting off this tangent.
It's a rhythmic.
So what are your thoughts on Chilton?
So they recycled the opening. So that was my point.
Yeah, Point Break did.
That was my Point Break.
Oh, well, thanks for listening this week. That was it. We went out on a high note.
What? You take over. It's your show.
Okay, first you say something you liked about the movie, and then I say something I
like that they ruined a Tom Petty song. Not that it wasn't already ruined because Tom Petty sucks. But
I don't like Tom Petty, but I think that song works really well in
it
this
works.
movie.
But I love that song can't be played now without people going, "Oh yeah," about the guy who skins people and kills them.
Front person.
That was gonna come up. I could not stop doing that in the car. Wait. Great big frat person. I love the casting voice. You could not pick a better
Ted Levine is so goddamn good in
Buffalo
this.
Bill with his fucking voice that you're like, wait, did something happen to his fucking throat? Why does he speak like
Sometimes he sounds normal, and sometimes he sounds like he just took like a bong rip and just tried to keep it in. Like it's it's so weird.
It's so confusing because you watch him in, like, for instance, like Wonderland is another a larger role I've seen. And I know you haven't seen that movie.
I haven't seen it.
The whole time he's talking, you're like, oh no, he kind of speaks. His voice is distinct, not even abnormal. It's just
absolutely,
distinct.
very distinct.
So you're like, no, he's choosing to do this. But the same with when he's looking down on the girl and she's screaming because she sees the fingernail, and he's like, oh, and he cocks his jaw so awkwardly. You're like, oh no, he's just unhinged. This guy's crazy.
and he does like a couple distinct different voices in this where he does his like, oh, I need some help, and then like, oh, she great big fat person, but then there's also,
and then it rubs the lotion on the skin.
It puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again, and you're like, oh, that's a weird voice.
Because you don't want to think that he has multiple personality. I don't like that.
No, he doesn't.
That seems like such a cop out to assume. So once again, I'm just eliminating.
No,
that.
he's just doing different like. It's like different moods, and he kind of just does a different voice for it. Like it's. I don't think it needs a deeper explanation.
Because the same guy who's catching her in the van, like, oh, well, would you thanks, is the same one who's dancing with his dick tucked, and you're like, nope, those are two seemingly different people.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I'm just
with like
saying
that scalp on his head.
Yeah, I'm just I know, with that little bit of skin coming off.
So
I'm just saying
grizzly.
I just want to cut it off at the knees that, like, no, I don't think he has multiple personalities.
No, I don't think so either. Well, and in the same way that like when Clarice is talking to Lecter, and he says that, like, Buffalo Bill, like, she says, are you saying Buffalo Bill's a transsexual? Transsexuals are generally passive and gentle and not, like, homicidal. And he says he's not a transsexual, but he thinks he is. He wants to be because he's uncomfortable with who he is.
That was really interesting about how he can diagnose him. Like, no, he's not, but he just wants to be. You're like, that's fucking weird.
Oh, wow.
That's fucking crazy.
That's really
that
interesting.
You got that.
And that is the, like, psychiatrist expertise that he shows there.
I'm not happy, so I must have to do something else, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah,
not because he just doesn't understand.
And it's about like transformation and all that type of stuff, which is really fascinating. Man, this movie is a fucking goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
It really is.
This is one of those movies that like I always thought was good, and then I went to like a screening in a theater, like I don't know, 6 years ago or something, and I was like, holy fuck, this is an experience on the big screen, you know?
And just in case, I don't think we talked about this on the air, we are not reviewing Hannibal Lecter. It's not Hannibal who's the villain in this.
No,
he's a villain.
He's not the murderer.
The killer is actually Buffalo Bill. So when we do our tropes later, they are based on Buffalo Bill. Yeah. And that's what's so intriguing about this movie is that you have two serial killers as the focus point. In fact, you could argue that Hannibal is actually the lead Jody's the lead, but he's the
the male lead.
Yeah, sure. Would they both be the lead?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You wouldn't say supporting. He's not supporting.
No, they both won actors for lead.
Oh, okay.
They're Oscars for lead.
But that's the thing is Buffalo Bill is actually the supporting character, and yet that's who
he is a lead for sure. And part of like you hear this argument of like, oh, Buffalo Bill or not Buffalo. You hear like, oh, Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor in a lead role for something like 11 minutes of screen time or something, this incredibly low number. But that's insane to like diminish it to like, okay, when he's physically on camera, okay, but like he's in these scenes and his presence and his character and what he's brought to it looms so heavily over so much of the movie that like, okay, but like his impact on the movie is so large that like, yeah, no, that you remove him from the movie. And even you cast someone else in it in the way that, like, Red Dragon is a remake of Manhunter. Brian Cox originally played Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter, which I haven't seen. But, like, I mean, I hear it's a good movie, but also, like, Hannibal Lecter is Anthony Hopkins.
I was thinking the movie Hunted with Benicio del Toro.
Oh,
That was
no,
and
not
Tommy
that.
Lee Jones. That's something else.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones.
The movie is not very good at all.
You know, Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face. I don't know if you knew that.
He will not.
What if Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face was Hannibal Lecter?
No, I think this. I like the idea of the characters.
I think we could. I think
becoming symbiont.
I think we could start a whole new podcast where we just determine if the character Two-Face should replace a character in the movie.
Oh yeah, so we watch a movie and go, could Two-Face?
Who would Two-Face be?
Because you got a
this?
50-50 shot that he could, because he's two different guys.
You mean like Face Off?
Yeah. So there's a chance that like could Two-Face be one of the leads in this movie?
Yeah.
Could either have Two-Face apply to this scenario, and every time, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he fucking could. And then we apply it.
Yeah, I like it.
Really, I would just like to see movies recut with Two-Face. And it is, I think, what I actually want to do.
Yeah. Oh, guys are so sad.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to have new lines either. He can just do his old lines in the movie.
Okay.
So that
I like this.
It doesn't matter if it ties in at all. I think we take a regular movie and then just have him pop up like a thought. I'm Kaiser Soze, and then pop back out.
What if we take like Thank You for Smoking and cut in like Aaron Eckhart Two-Face scenes? Like, what if we do that? Does that work? I haven't seen Thank You for Smoking in a really long time, so I don't know if it like would cut together.
I don't have.
We gotta try, I guess.
Okay, what else about the movie that we're actually supposed to be talking about? Anthrax Island. What is anthrax?
Well, anthrax is
no,
like
I mean not the poison. I mean like what was it before that? Because it's
only ever been a poison. It is a poison at that point.
So why would you call it Poison Island?
It wasn't called that. It was called Plum Island.
It says anthrax.
He says that later, but when she mentions it, it's called Plum Island. On the map, it's called Plum Island.
Oh, so he's just referring.
He just says it, and I don't know why. I don't really get that.
But later on, he goes, Anthrax Island. I suppose that was yours. And
he says that later. He's the only one who ever says that. I don't know why. I don't get it.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could have sworn it was that it's brought up before he takes the bait and then after. And that was yours, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I think
whatever. I'll drop it.
The beginning. I'm just not sure. I don't have an answer for you. I don't. But I think like that early scene, the first time she goes to the facility to meet with Lecter, the combination of the setting and the score is so powerful to like build this kind of tension, this kind of dread, and this like it really makes you feel like, you know, have you ever like, I don't know, gone somewhere where you're like incredibly nervous and like it's you really feel that like with her there.
The Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. Last time you went, you were just like, all right, I can have fun, but I also might see Robin Hood's hog.
I remember the first time that I saw this movie, the part that really bothered me the most was when she was at the yourself storage or whatever, when she was jacking up and climbing under there. I remember feeling like
that's really good too.
Like nervous, like, oh my God, this guy's gonna be in on it, because it was the first time I saw the movie.
Yeah, the like build and release of tension in this movie is masterful. Like it's incredible. The pacing of everything, the way that the score will build up and then kind of like diffuse when. Yeah.
You know what's distracting to me in this movie, and it's not even their fault. When I think about a well in someone's basement, I'm not saying it's preposterous, like it didn't happen. I'm just like, that makes no fucking sense. Because normally if you dig a well, you would never build a house on it because you're going to have sinkholes along that path. Why in the fuck would anyone ever build a house over top of a well? Because most likely what happened is the foundation would cave in. It's just dumb. Structurally, it's stupid.
Why would the foundation cave in?
Because the waterway that's going through it, so where your well waters come through, you have pockets where it just caves in.
But that doesn't look like it was ever an active well. That looks like it was dug intentionally for this.
You think he dug that?
I do think so. Yeah.
Well, it could have been for something else. It could have been for pooping.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably was.
Oh, maybe it's an old outhouse.
Maybe it was an old toilet.
Oh, that changes it. Yeah, that's smart.
You know what?
Yeah, throw someone down the poop
That
well.
toilet looked like it could use
a
visit from the doctor. The toilet doctor.
TD?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh. I think it was working great. Just poop on her. Throw a dog in it. Fuck it.
Yeah. It puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets shit on again.
Or else I'll poop in that hole that you're in. Puts the lotion on the skin, or else I gotta take a shit move.
So I've talked about this in the
and
past.
Senator, love the suit.
Love the suit.
So good. Dude, when
Catherine's on the chopping block, where will you tingle?
When you're talking about building suspense, and then fucking the magistrate of the fucking reveal of the guy having his guts opened up and then opened like a bat from that zoo cage.
It's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's so great. But also, where the fuck did they get that? Clearly a zoo cage in that short amount of time. They were like, hey, kill all the gorillas, take their cage.
I happen to know Memphis has a great zoo. I've been there.
Yeah, but the thing was huge. And how'd they get it through the doors?
They built it in there.
They
brought it in as pipes. Yeah, I mean, that would take 2 hours maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no floor. Do you think Cannibal walked over?
There's no floor.
He lifted it up. You know what I'm saying?
No, that thing's heavy. There's no way.
No, I think you could have left.
He's weak.
No, you just put
He's an old man. Hasn't even eaten a person in a long time. He doesn't have their strength.
No, he's got the easel for his paintings. He just puts that underneath it, puts that on a coffee can, and pries it up.
What, like a lever? He just makes like a simple machine.
Yeah, a four-woman lever.
I back it.
That was the original idea, and they're like, it's just not landing.
This kind of sucks. Maybe we don't do this. Yeah,
but yeah, I love that, because if you think about how quickly. Like in the first Clarice scene, when he acts like a predator, his eyes never leave her. Like he's totally fine. And then when he attacks, and he is like, you know what you look like with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You see, you
look like a rube.
He's honed in. He never blinks. He just stares her down like he's fucking having fun, like a predator to prey kind of thing.
Well, yeah, because this is something new and interesting. And Jack Crawford sent me a student. Yeah. Like, what the fuck could this be?
I love how impactful it is. But then when he does it to the senator, you realize how
it's
Jack
like a show of dominance.
Like, you don't want him in your head, because it was so smart. Because he says, "Hey, did you
breastfeed?
Toughening of the nipple, or whatever." He goes, "Are you gonna feel it?" So now and this is so fucked up. If she were in bed with someone and they were to do anything like that, her mind then goes to Hannibal Lecter.
She thinks about him, yeah.
It's so crazy how fucking he did that psychological ninja move where he just cut her so bad and she had no idea that now her whole life has changed just from.
She'll think about this. She'll touch back on it and absolutely.
Yeah, it's
masterful.
It's
incredible.
It's leaving a little fucking booby trap for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, like the guy from Summer of '84.
But I do like, I do like how early on they show that how intelligent Jodie Foster is in this, because she's talking to who's the guy that's in charge of the jail?
Barney?
No, not Barney.
Oh, Chilton?
Yeah, Chilton.
Chilton's such a smug
When
fuck.
she's like, I prefer to be alone or whatever, and he goes, well, you could have told me this earlier. I wouldn't have had to do all this. She goes,
you could have saved me the trip.
Yeah, but then she smooths it over so fast by going, but then I wouldn't have the...
I would have missed out on your company.
Yeah, it was so fast.
Dr. Chilton.
So smart to neutralize the situation, because she knows she'll need to come back.
She's got good charm. She's definitely got good people skills for sure. Mm-hmm. And even the stuff where Lecter's like, oh, that's your ploy, you've been courteous and receptive to courtesy and all that stuff. Is she still manages to get his guard down in a way, and even though he thinks he's completely in control of the situation, she manages to wrench away just a tiny fraction for herself.
It still worked because Jack sent her there without a motive, even though he knew it was going to happen, because Hannibal couldn't risk taking the bait, because he's so intrigued, because he's been without people for so long. He knew that no matter what, even to let his guard down, to subject himself to ridicule, he was going to do it no matter what, because he just wanted to talk to her.
You gotta shoot your shot, and that's the thing with Crawford sends her in without the motive, without knowing what he wants from her, but he also knows her mind and the way she's analytical and wants to get to the bottom and figure out what's going on, and she's gonna go in there and she's going to start picking up on things and trying to like uncover, because that's her nature. Even without the motive,
but then
she's going to do it.
So when she comes back to your self-storage, even though she's feeding Jack the information that she's going there, it doesn't matter because he sees that she's intrigued, and then there's where the chemistry builds. So it doesn't matter that Hannibal can see it from a mile away. He still wants it to happen. That's what's such a smart move from Jack that it really doesn't get enough credit for.
Yeah.
Is that he plays that fucking hand so well by
Crawford's great at this. Like, he's a master, you know. That's why Clarice wants to come work for him. Like, when she gets out of Quantico, you know.
It was interesting one. And I guess it was just to show that there's respect in the relationship, where Jack's like, oh, that really, after the fact, he goes, that really burned you when I said we shouldn't talk in front of a female. He goes, I was just trying to blow smoke, which you believe him, but it's so weird that they added that part where she goes, well, cops are going to mimic what you do.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of respect.
It matters.
And he goes, point taken. Because you were waiting on it. You're like, wait, was that it?
Oh, shit, you're right.
Was that literally just a little powwow?
I think it's cool that she has this different perspective than him and can let him know, like, hey, you did this thing to, like, smooth it over with the sheriff to kind of, like, win him over, but what you also did is you undermined me in front of all the other men and made my position weaker.
Yeah.
And, like, it's important. What you do and what you say and how you act to these men is important. And if you act as though I'm worthy of respect, then I'll get it from them as well, you know? Like...
When she's doing the thing when she's telling the cops to leave, she goes, all the folks will be real impressed that you came down here. But go on. Best thing you can do is go home and take care of everyone.
All right.
Go on. Did you want to go? Shoot. Go on.
Go on. Get.
West Virginia accent. Shoot. Go on. Get.
So one thing that I really like in this that I thought of earlier is the repetition of, there are 3 instances where Clarice or somebody is walking away from Lecter and he calls back to drop this last little tidbit of information. And the first time is, you know, when he tells her to go to yourself,
Miggs,
Miggs and all that. And he's, Clarice, Agent Starling. And she runs back and, like, he gives her this little bit of info as, like, you know, and I think that's, like, it's calculated on his part, but I think it's also, like, he's let his guard down a little bit and is going to give her a little more because he has more respect for her.
It's because, in his eyes, she was under his protection.
Yeah.
He was in charge, and something like that happened with me, so he had to punish him. But also, he was apologetic, like, hey, listen, I didn't know that was going to happen. Something was out of control, and that wasn't supposed to happen like that. So here, I want you to come back now because I have to make it up to you that something happened.
But the second time, when he calls someone back, it's the senator.
Yeah.
After he says the line about the nipples and all that.
Repels her and then comes back because he needs something still.
And then he calls her back and gives her the info that she needs as, like, a chess move, you know? And then the third and last time is with Clarice again, as Chilton is having her taken away from the big zoo cage. And he calls her back and is, if you forgot your case file. And the thing in it, though, is, like, each time when he calls back each person, it's to give them that little bit of information, that little clue. But the 2 times with Clarice, it's real information that actually helps her in her advancement in the case. And with the senator, it's a misdirect to basically say, like, fuck you. I'm, like... I don't care if your daughter dies.
I just needed to get out of the jail.
Yep, this is my way to escape.
But how do you like the moment with the finger touching?
Weird.
It's so much more impactful when you realize he's got a pen up his ass.
I don't know if it's up his ass.
Where else would it be? He goes to the bathroom to retrieve it.
No, they literally show him taking it out of his mouth.
Oh,
yeah. It's not up his ass, you fucking creep.
The whole time I'm like...
He's not a Renaissance Robin Hood.
This is so crazy. Because when they zoom out of his mouth breathing, like... when he's in Baltimore, I'm like, he's got a pen in his ass. It's like, I'd be breathing hard.
You think that he, like, pulled the pen out of his ass and then cleaned it with his mouth. He's like...
I was thinking... No, he disassembles in his mouth.
Yeah, after it was up his ass. No, it's just that piece. He just had that piece in his mouth.
It was a fine piece that he had to get lubed up for it to slide out, so he's like, I better put it in my mouth. So
No,
yeah.
he lubed it up
I was
pre-ass.
thinking, like, maybe that's why he's talking about the nipples, because he's like, man, when you get something shoved up your ass, you're real sexual.
Yeah, I feel like he's like, I'm feeling a little Bill Paxton-y, like a horse or something.
Well, I was thinking they would have checked his orifice, so the only thing you do is shove it up your ass.
No,
so
you can hide stuff in your mouth pretty well. Like
the whole time. We didn't have the whole pen in his mouth.
No,
the
I'm
whole
saying
time.
it was just that piece. That was all he had. Was
But
the piece
where
that he
was the rest of the pen at?
He flushed it or something. I don't
No,
know.
I think it's up his ass. I think he takes it apart and he goes, "Oh no, they're coming!" He shoves the parts up his. No, all of them.
No, he pooped it out into the toilet.
That's why he's sitting on the toilet. Senator, pen up my ass.
Love ya suit. Man, what a good movie. And I have like
What?
barely any notes on this thing.
Why didn't the first time you see the FBI agent that goes to get Sterling was like, "Hey, you know, is he Jack
Out in the
Crawford
woods.
needs you?"
Yeah.
Why wasn't he on like a moped? Like he just walked out there like,
I don't think it's that far.
Her.
I mean, I don't think it's.
I'll go look. He should have been on a four-wheeler, like, yeah. Like, that would have changed the feel.
It's not a fucking
bit.
Michael Bay movie. Like he's not.
Like he's making jumps. No, I think he skis down like in True Lies.
In True Lies.
Yeah, like
He skis down, and they're like going down the hill, and Clarice is sliding down backwards on her back, and he's like, "Crawford wants you in his office."
Like he's not good at skiing. Like he's new to it. Like he's been in the FBI for a while, but new to skiing, so he's got his legs kicked inward.
Yeah, that's
like,
why he's
going real slow.
he's pizza slice, slowing down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the problem with that?
So I would like to.
You know what's in there? Bugs and stuff. Why did they put that guy in there? There's something in her mouth. Well, sometimes when they're in the water, you get stuff in their mouth, like bugs and stuff, real deep.
So I think
Fucking guy.
I think the whole point of that
You need
guy.
to calm down.
I think the whole point of that guy is to contrast with Clarice and the FBI's like thing,
they're
because he's like the
bumpkins, yeah.
local guy, and he's like, well, sometimes there's leaves and bugs, and they get in their mouth. But like.
so bothered.
I think that is the whole idea, is like she and the FBI are this like clinical kind of like, you know, to the letter of the law, like following all the rules and all that.
I
like,
thought it's because they put all that cocaine on their nose, the cocaine paste. So he's like, oh man, you know what that could be? Leaves or bugs or mud. He's getting real into it.
So I think we should talk about the best scene in the movie before we do tropes.
Oh, the pen in the ass?
No.
What, when Miggs throws cum on her?
No, those two are related.
My fiance
Miggs had a pen in his ass.
fiance was amazed that happened. I was like, number one, it's a movie, so they can do whatever they need to.
Yeah.
Two, I'm like, she's
Yeah, it's
not
gross,
that
but that's
far
intentional.
away. She goes, yeah, but you couldn't just throw it. I said, if you could throw
Why
any
not?
liquid, you can flick liquid onto
Far,
people
far.
6 feet away. I'm like, that's not difficult. The amazing thing was it was a hook shot. It was on his back. And he was like,
He's like, oh.
I'm like, that's the part that's mind-boggling in
Yeah.
this whole movie. With the fucking guy in prison is solving all these mysteries.
Yeah.
Is the fucking guy landed cum on? She goes, but it was perfectly on her face. I'm like, well,
Well, it is a movie, and they want it to look impactful. Like, oh boy. What? Okay. Okay.
Was that the scene?
Your fiance, who has like worked in actual movies, is like, I'm not buying this. Like, come on.
I think she was just impressive. Mix crushed it.
Yeah.
Well, good throw, buddy. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
Yeah,
she was just
yeah.
more just like, nice.
You know, that was
for
unscripted.
you.
That guy who played Miggs really jerked off and flung it on
was
Jodie
that
Foster.
the guy who shot Reagan?
Oh yeah, it was John Hinckley.
All right. What's the best scene?
So the best scene is the fucking the parallel Clarice going to like follow up on a lead while the FBI thinks they're like taking the house with him in it, and like the parallel cuts and that lead up of like
Great big fat person.
you know, the build up with the FBI outside the house in Illinois, and then like the ringing the bell, and like
It's so good because the whole time it's happening, they show the house and then they show the inside of the house, and you're like, that can't be the same house. The whole time you're just
You don't know.
You're looking and you're like,
you're like,
that doesn't
oh, the
make any
basement
sense.
of that house
Like
is
that
wild, I guess.
That house looks fucking huge. He's walking through. There's
Yeah.
all these rooms, and you're like, that didn't seem like that was.
Well, no, but you don't see him upstairs at all before.
I know.
And
I'm
that's
saying, like,
the great reveal of it.
yeah. I enjoyed it.
Is that he's got like a bigger house than you think. That's the great reveal.
I don't know, man. Some of those parts, well, everyone remembers the pee-pee dance, but the part where he's like, you don't know what pain is. You're like,
Yeah, when she has
steals
the dog.
you're like, this is fucking great.
Well, and that's the buildup. That's what's so cool about it is like the timing of it is that like she gets the dog in the pit and he's freaking out, and then someone rings his fucking doorbell and he's like, fuck, I gotta go deal with this, and she's got my fucking dog.
He's doing the thing,
and like
he's doing the weird voice where he's like, Precious. He's like, you don't hurt my dog. And then going back and forth.
I don't want to hurt your dog, mister. Yeah. But no, the the first time you see that, and this is like, I think it's important to mention that like this type of reveal, the way this is cut together, it was never done like this before with that misdirect. And like when you see him open the door to Clarice and it's him, you're like, holy shit. And it is like this incredible like twist, and you're like, holy fuck, they're all the way in fucking Illinois, she's in Ohio or whatever it is, like, because she hasn't called in backup. You know, she hasn't called in her backup yet because
she's not a real FBI
well, but
agent.
Crawford thinks they've got his location, so she's like, hey, Crawford tells her we want him for murder, not kidnapping, so connect him to Bimmel, you know, and so she's like, cool, I'll go follow this lead.
Do you think that this is a weird situation where like the old woman or whatever was like raising him, or do you think that somehow he killed her and then somehow bought the house? Or like,
no, I think that's her son. I think that's her son.
The simplest answer for me was son. Then I'm like, nah, I don't.
I think it has to be. Okay. I think it has to be her son. That's what makes the most sense. That's why he knows how to sew. That's why he knows the first victim. You know, it's all that's it's Occam's razor. Like, just the simplest answer is the most likely one there. And I think like I love the way that like he's looking for the card. He's fucking bluffing so big, and it's fucking fantastic. And then she sees the fucking moth, and she's like,
when he throws the cards,
I love, and he just kind of drops them.
But it's sloppy.
Dude, I love it.
He's like, like busted.
Yeah, Ted Levine is incredible in this movie. Like it could not have been cast any better. Like, he's absolutely perfect.
We got to do some tropes.
Oh yeah, let's do a little bit of tropes. We're going a little long on this one just because it's such a great movie and it's so like worth it to fucking get into. Okay.
Hot dog fingies. Yeah, skins.
Yeah.
Skins are missing.
Skins, the moth, like there's a bunch of stuff.
Wouldn't you be bummed if you were a tailor or something and you watched this movie and saw like the skin? You'd be like, oh, he's making a suit. Like, that would so spoil it for you. Because now you watch it and you're like, it's very clear that he's making a suit.
Yeah.
But back then you're like,
why is he skinning them?
Because they're like, oh, he takes trophies. Like, killers take trophies.
Yeah, and that's like the conventional wisdom is like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, not like something so far out and like disgusting of like, oh, he's making a human suit.
What do you think would have happened when he finally made the suit? Would he be like, all right, I'm done. Like, I got my suit.
Or would he be like, he puts it on and he's like, man, I really wouldn't fuck me. This is rough.
He puts it on, but then he's like, yeah, this is good for winter. But like, well, why don't you need a spring suit?
Oh man,
spring woman's dress skin.
Yeah. Ooh, no, because the thing of it is, he wants to have the woman's skin on and then wear a dress over it.
Oh,
I think he's still gonna get hot. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard.
I think he'd be done.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's cured.
I think they should have just let him make the suit and be done with it. Like,
is
it so wrong to make a woman's suit?
Why didn't you just dig up dead bodies?
Well, no, the skin wouldn't be any good.
It'd
be too rotten.
Thrill would be gone.
Number 2.
Why didn't my mom just fuck her husband? The thrill would be gone.
We're back here. Excellent.
Right, sends letter.
No letter, unfortunately.
A lot of letters, but not from him.
Yeah, that's right. 3, abduction, kidnapping.
By the way, there's a shit ton of letters being sent that just aren't from him.
Yeah.
All these letters going back and forth from the senator and fucking from the asylum and the prisons.
Yeah.
A lot of letters. That's the only reason I stopped.
Abduction, kidnapping, of course.
Panic.
One of the best ones. One of the best kidnappings we've seen in one of these movies. The like getting her into the van.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Panic, yeah. I mean, the FBI is all over it.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially at the senator.
Well, and the senator, because she's driving it because it's her daughter missing. Like, so she's whipping up this frenzy. Frenzy?
Fiend. Insanity. Yeah, I'll give this one. Crazy.
I said yes. I said insanity. Yeah. I said yes.
I mean, I don't think we need to talk about why he's making a skin.
You want to talk about why?
Making a skin suit. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, no. I meant because he saw a therapist once,
meant like this.
so he must be insane.
I meant this is just a crazy movie. This is insane.
Whoa! Drove me insane. Seeing my mom fuck that Robin Hood.
Yeah, Hannibal. He's the hound.
He's the hounds. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, I think that is the besides M, that is the most drastic measure that we've seen so far. Is let's go ahead and get a hold of that serial killer. That just by talking to him, they're talking to
other serial killers too. Yes. But that's why they send Clarice is because they couldn't get any responses from Lecter, so they send her in.
But yeah, this is by far the riskiest move.
Yeah,
which ends up working out for him.
Okay, so
ambiguous? No.
Here's the thing.
Or do you want to call Hannibal's?
That's the thing. Is I almost feel like it should count for that. I didn't check it, but I think it's worth discussing.
No, well, I mean, yes, there's an ambiguous end to the movie, but
when we're talking ambiguous ending, we're talking about the killer.
We didn't specify. We did just leave ambiguous end to the movie. So you know what? Yes.
So we say yes.
So
I'm checking it too.
I convinced myself the other way. So that was fun.
Number 8, Freebird. The police don't catch the killer.
And they caught him.
They don't.
He's dead.
Nope. The police go to the other house. Clarice catches him, who is a student, not police.
But it's Freebird. Does he get away?
No,
he does not get away.
It's Freebird. The police don't catch the killer. That's the.
She counts.
She's not police.
She counts.
She's not police. She's not a cop.
I'm a fuck. I was watching that the other day, by the way. That whole thing with the cop. Fucking cop.
I know what you are. I know what you're not.
You can do. Yeah, I'm sticking with no.
Oh, thank you.
Killer's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, from the well.
We get a lot of.
And also the mirror.
We get a lot of good ones. We get a lot of his perspective.
Yeah, we know he'd fuck him.
But how? In what way?
So hard.
Like a mother fucks a nude Robin Hood at a Renaissance festival.
Man, I really fucked. I bet I was punished for the rest of the day for fucking that
up. She's like, I was supposed to go in there, not you. You're like, Mom, can I get a turkey leg? She's like, you can get fucked. How about that?
We didn't get any money when we were there. Out of your mind.
Oh, man. So my wife told a story about when she was in high school. She knew a bunch of kids who worked at a Renaissance festival, and they worked in like the at one of the concession stands, like selling food, and they don't have like a cash register. They just have like aprons where all the money goes. And she said these people would steal thousands of dollars just because it's all cash, and they would just like pocket some money, whatever. So
dumb of the owner.
At a certain point, the owner comes to like the manager and is like, someone's stealing money and blah, blah, blah. And the manager is like fucking incensed. How dare you accuse these kids? They're good kids. And like quits over it. And they're just like, oh, we stole so much fucking money. Like,
and that makes you think that person stole even more.
How dare
and they just had to get out before
I don't know, man. I just remembered that. That's wild.
Well, that's the show.
I got 8 out of 9, which is more than I really expected from this. What I kind of expected out of this episode was we get to talk about a really great movie.
And we did.
Leading up to Halloween, and we tell everyone that they should watch this.
We should quit saying Halloweeny and start saying Halloweener.
Yeah, it's leading up to Jalapenos and
Halladongtown. Halladongtown.
Okay.
That's hot.
What?
It's a hot rhythm.
What's wrong with you?
Rhythmic. I already forget what the meaning was, by the way. Oh, it's when you steal something.
That's plagiarism.
That's rhythmic.
So next week,
what are we doing?
We're going to watch a movie that I absolutely love, and I think works with this season and this theme so well, and
I have no idea.
Legitimately scared the shit out of my wife for like several months the last time we watched it.
Don't tell your mom the babysitter's dead?
It's Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. The thing I remember most about that movie is when they're deciding which kid has to go get a job. No. Is when they're deciding which kid has to go get a job.
Is that even on the list?
They flip a pizza. Of course it's not on the list.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with killers.
Oh.
They
I wonder
flip
why
a
I thought it was
frozen
gonna be that.
pizza to determine which one of them should go get a job.
Makes
And I think
sense.
Christina Applegate has to get the job. Anywho, the movie that we're talking about next week is David Fincher's Zodiac.
Oh, neat. I haven't seen all of it.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking good. It's so tense and so. It's one of my like. I don't know, man. It might be like top 15.
Nice.
It's a fantastic movie, and I'm really excited to watch it and talk about it on a podcast.
Heck yeah.
But
We'll see you then, folks.
it's time to stop listening to our show, because I'm going to say thanks for listening this week. Tell all your friends about us, and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We're at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can leave us. You can send us a voice.
Leave us.
Fucking read.
Tell us.
You can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Go check out Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale. It's a podcast that I worked on sometimes, but they never record any new episodes, so you'll just be seeing old ones. But the most recent one's an interview with Kirk Thatcher. It's very interesting. Until next time, I'm going to be diddling someone's mom at the Renaissance Festival, and he will be
The Cupcake Kitty.
Meow.
Cats alike.